Hello, hello, hello. Welcome to the Novitas Spa Medical Rejuvenation Clinic. Megan here, and we have a guest today, Miss Jane Hudson. And I'll explain why Miss Jane is here and what's going on with that. But today is totally you today. And so it's totally you today for Miss Jane. Bye-bye, folks. See you again. And this week we've been talking about habits. And the habits, our Motivation Monday quote was that the first 5 minutes dictate your day. The first 5 minutes of your day dictate your day. And that was a Bob Proctor quote, a paradigm shift. And I was sharing about Tom Ziegler and how he was interviewed in a podcast by Ken Walls. And he asked this is not the exact question, but basically, excuse me, Sarah, can you lower the music a little bit? It's just really loud. I'm listening to it. It's kind of like in my brain and competing with the music. But he asked him what would be secret to success, I think, something about success. And his answer was that by changing a bad habit to a good habit creates success. And wow, that really resonated with me. It really did. And so then that was Monday. And then we did Totally You Today on Tuesday. We continued that and speaking about different dynamics of habits. And but I also was speaking with my dear friend Lisa Beth Thomas, who was on Lisa Copeland's Cars Her Way show, radio show, which we'll put the information on here. And Lisa is an amazing human being. Jane knows her. She is just a communicator, and she is such a visionary, and she cares about people, and she cares about her clients. And we met her years ago with one of her smaller ventures, but then she went on in the fashion industry, and then she went on to opening the Fiat dealership in the Domain, of all places. And she created a runway in that to create it from a fashion dynamic. And so when a person bought their car, it was loaded on this stage and down the runway, and just the coolest stuff. But she has now a radio show on Sunday in Houston, one of the local AM stations, and one of the local AM stations here in Austin. And so Lisa, better known as LB, and Lisa Copeland's daughter Alex were on the show last week. And one of the things that Lisa Copeland said on Monday on her Fierce 365 at 6:45 in the morning, so this was Monday, she was sharing about how fantastic, she was so excited about kind of the aha moment of having the ladies on the show. And she was talking about having your client, your person that knows you, person that knows your business with you, what better, good or bad, information. Now, Jane and I have not discussed what she's going to speak. I shared it, basically it was going to be about habits. Now, as you can see, Miss Jane is a beautiful woman and a very trim person, so obviously she has a lot of good habits. But Jane has been and actually, we met many years ago at Lisa Copeland's boutique.
Yes,
many years ago. That's a whole other story. But we didn't really know that initially, and so as getting to know each other, we realized that was the case. That's where we met. And so when I decided, because as Lisa Copeland said, interview, be involved on this podcast, your podcaster information, with your clients, with your guests who knows your business even better, and who can share about the business and also the category, because that's one of the things Lisa spoke about too, because today she's consulting with car dealers. Mm-hmm. And so to have these two women that she trusts and respects to share with the audience will help her help with her clients, in her consulting with her car dealership clients. So back to habits, Jane. So Jane, I'll share with you, with them, that you have been a very successful business owner yourself. You had a dealership. You can share a little bit about that for years, which took a lot of good habits to start, build, and sustain.
Yes.
A lot of good habits. And then, but we met while you were still in the throes of that.
Yes.
And then you decided to sell your business to your staff, which was a very exciting thing for them, and because you've mentored them over the years, and still, I'm sure, on some level involved with them.
Yes,
Yes,
I am.
I'm sure that's true. And we haven't talked in detail about that, but so you're a busy gal, and a lot of demands, and you have a husband and 2 sons and a grandchild, so you're pulled in many different directions. So from a habit position, I'd like you to share with our audience that in your life, how has this business, the Novitas Spa Medical Rejuvenation Clinic, helped or not helped? You don't have to make up something just for my benefit, but has it helped with keeping with your habits?
Yes, it has, and the reason is because it helps me give me time for me, just me time. It also is a time for me to relax, reflect, and I think the staff here at the spa are they're all amazing. I have not had one person that I've worked with that has not been caring, and I mean, you've done a great job of getting them to do those kinds of things, but that just helps create better habits for me to take care of me. And I think that's what a lot of us, or a lot of busy women, tend to not do, is to take care of you. I look at my skin and habits of taking care of your skin, and one of the best compliments I get is, "Oh, your skin looks so pretty." And I always say that's because I come here for my facials and for product and stuff. So it is, it goes beyond just these doors and these walls. It's once you get the products, you take them out and you use them. But you do have to get in the habit of using them every single day. And coming in for a facial once a month, coming in for some of the other services as you need to have them. But once you start doing those kinds of things, you realize how important it is to you. And I think my husband knows it makes me happier.
I'm sure that's true. I'm sure that's
because
true.
That is me time, and he never questions, "Where are you going?" "I'm going to go to the spa." And okay, good.
Right,
because he knows I'm going to be a happier person when I get through.
One of the questions I'm asked all the time, is, what do you do there? I mean, I'm asked that, whether it's inside this building or out and about. And actually how I answer that is, well, really the question should be what you don't do. We do not do hair, and we do not do nail services. But today, people are more aware of the term medical spa, but I don't think they truly understand what that really means.
Right.
Now, when you just spoke now about, the home care products that we manufacture, been manufacturing the Novitas Spa clinical products since 1992. They're sold to other spas, medical spas, now on Amazon, but they're a foundation to our treatments here because we educate our guests of how important home care is. It's like brushing and flossing your teeth. Because, and you said another thing about habit, is that if you can buy anything from anywhere, but if you don't use it, it's going to grace the counter or the drawer in your bathroom and not make a difference for your skin. But anyhow, the reason I went back to, what we do and don't do, and medical spa and so forth. But you, over the years, not to invade your privacy, because I would not do that, but you've done traditional spa, meaning i.e. massage, and traditional facials. You've done medical facials, and you've done medical other treatments. Now, how would you share, and essentially a little bit is about habits because it fits into that whole taking care of self. But just for our audience sake, how would you describe the differential, because I'm sure long before we met, you had been to many other spas and possibly even a medical spa. Never even asked you that. But how would you describe that synergy or integration of all of that together? How would you describe that? And then maybe bring it back to your, helping with accomplishing, and I'm going to step a teeny bit away from the habit, but meaning accomplishing your goals.
So most spas that I've been to in the past did not have the availability of all the different services that are available here. And I think one of the best parts of that is the staff that is here. And if you have a problem area or something that, like Gigi yesterday, I said, I don't like the way this is. She goes, okay, well, we'll do this. But there's always a solution. There's always something that can be done. Whereas if you just go to, I'm not going to mention anything, but someplace else, they won't necessarily have the treatment option available to you.
True.
And so it's not all encompassing like it is here. I can go anywhere and get my nails done or my toes done or
and you go to your
haircut.
stylist who you have gone to for years, I'm sure.
So it's the and the innovativeness, if that's even a word, of you and your willingness to step out and to bring other services in as you see them being developed in the
market.
world.
Yes, really, in the marketplace, the world. Yes. Well, thank you, Jane, because truly, the word novità means new birth, new life, always something new. And when my first brand, which I launched in '92, was Glycolic, and I was a pioneer in not only glycolic acid alpha hydroxy skincare, but also skincare being introduced into salons, because there were no spas in 1992, unless you went to a destination location, Elizabeth Arden and the like. And so I really helped educate the salon industry how to get into skincare, and then then in consulting, how to integrate it all into their work. And in 1997, I re-engineered Glycolic and renamed it, and essentially, when I say re-engineered, I broadened the line because there was tremendous technology that had evolved from '92, because that was the dark ages, to '97, antioxidant technology and the like. And but I also wanted to change the name, because I didn't want to just hang my hat on glycolic acid. I wanted to enable products to evolve to what really made a difference. But also knew that down the road I would probably do this, and that I wanted to have a name that would be fitting for the product as well as doing this. And so with novità, meaning new birth, new life, always something new, that's my promise, is that to be open to what is going on in the marketplace and what fits into, though, our scope of license. And that's probably something that would be a whole other show. But basically what Jane is really saying too is that she trusts the staff.
Absolutely.
That's really what you're saying. And they are trained by me as their coach to be your coach. But from me, never to step into something that is not in their scope of license and that they're not trained for. So when you mentioned Gigi, so when the guest/patient is with, this individual, that they have the ability to share those things, and therefore the guest, can truly grow with that relationship and truly trust that,
Absolutely.
Now, you haven't had stem cell yet on any level, but I'm just going to, but Jane, again, has been with me for quite a few years now, and this is a point of reference to that, meaning that when I injured my knee last year, and I'm sure you remember that.
Yes, I do.
Because I was hobbling around and I couldn't even really walk, but I was really stymied because nothing I was doing, my infrared sauna and the like, was not doing anything, and to repair it, so to speak. And so when I realized that after having an x-ray that I really needed a knee replacement, I did not want surgery, didn't want the downtime, didn't want a foreign body in my body. And so when I had the injection and had such a, to me, miraculous response, I said, I must bring this to you. But again, back to scope of license, back to credibility. I would never do something that was not going to be in a structure that was going to be done properly. And so that's another long story, but you know, affiliating with an education company, through that company, met Dr. Wynn. Dr. Wynn is an amazing, you know, professional in the medical world, internist, hospitalist for 20 years. She just really knows medicine. And so, but she got to a place in her own career that of being, you know, with people who are very, very sick. And she said, I want to do things that are joyful. And that's when she decided to change her career and really do research in regenerative medicine. And so by the grace of God, and to quote Glenn Lundy, grow your business for God's sake. By the grace of God, I met Dr. Wynn, who at a training in Las Vegas through this affiliate company, and she was doing the training, and lo and behold, where does she live? Austin, Texas. So she basically is now working with me and the staff to not only do regenerative bone and joint and other work with stem cell, but also regenerative stem cell facial work. So that fits in our wheelhouse, and I would never do anything that isn't. And she also has a heart for training, and she's now going to begin training Gigi and Bridget to help her, to work with her, you know. So that's just taking everything to that next step. Novita, new birth, new life, always something new, you know. So it's exciting.
It is exciting.
And it's also exciting not just here, but just what's going on in the, you know, clinical medical spa world.
Yeah, well, one thing that you, again, that y'all do so well is helping each individual on an individual basis. So what each individual needs, not what the spa wants you to have.
Yes.
It's what is best for you.
Yes, and I'm very opposed to that. And one example of that.
Well, you did that to me one time.
I did.
She wouldn't let me have a treatment because it wasn't going to be good for me at the time.
At the time, and that's what I was just about to say. This is July 19th, and we do not do laser facial treatments at this time because it can cause greater challenges than the individual wants to work on. Mm-hmm. And so, because we cannot be with you at your pool, we cannot be with you at the lake, we cannot be with you at the Round Rock Express. I mean, we can't. And say, put that sunscreen on, wear that hat, put that shirt on. We cannot do that, and it's 100 degrees, you're not gonna wear a shirt. So it's best for us, but many places don't do that. They
Correct.
just will do it whenever for whomever, and that's absolutely wrong to do that. Yeah, well, thank you for sharing that as well. So, but that's, you know, I think then that's a whole other topic, which is trust. You know, that's a whole other topic. I think that might be next week, but because that really is an important piece to this, yes, to create true results.
Correct.
Yeah, true results. So today is the 19th, as I mentioned, and I also said it was July. So we historically do Christmas in July throughout the month, and I do specials, but this weekend is, just this weekend, is buy two, get the third free of facials, products, and packages. And that's because, you know, I believe very, very, very strongly in value. I believe in creating results, true results, but true value. And we do this in Christmas in July, this buy two, get one free. Mother's Day, well, I should start at the beginning of the year. Valentine's Day, Mother's Day, Christmas in July, and then right before the holidays. Mm-hmm. So it's a great, you mentioned, you kind of alluded to and mentioned our monthly program. We do have a membership But even as a member, it's a great savings to then
It's a
put
huge
that
savings.
augmented, like if you want to have other things, it's a great time to do that as well. So, come on down. Christmas in July, this weekend. Well, thank you, sweet girl. Thank you for
Well,
joining
thank you
me.
for all you do too.
Well,
You've helped me get good habits.
thank you.
You're welcome.
Thank you. So we'll see you next week, Monday, for Motivation Monday. And it might just be about that, trust. Trust is a very important thing, especially today in commerce, right? Wouldn't you
Yeah,
agree that that's
absolutely.
something that many people don't have trust because there's such misinformation out there. So we hope that we helped with
Yes.
clearing up some misinformation and Miss Jane sharing about her absolutely great habits she does. So have a blessed weekend and we'll see you soon. Thank you.